Hello, my name is Sally Gimmon, and I am the proud owner of thetrustisisyou.com. And today I want to talk to you about the Spendthrift Trust. I also have a podcast called Stop Paying Capital Gains Now, with an exclamation mark. The reason I do this because so many people have never heard of this trust. 97% of the trusts in the United States is called a family trust, and the only thing it does is avoid going through probate. Then it dissolves. My mom and dad had this. Susie Orman talks about this on PBS television. Most CPAs, financial planners, and other people talk about the family trust. It does not go from generation to generation. It does not save you any other way other than going to probate. What I'm talking to you about now is not your mom and dad's trust. The Spendthrift Trust has 5 names to it. It's irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor, Spendthrift Trust. The way I found out about this, get a little bit of history, back in July of 2020, I took down a deal in my real estate group, a contract for a bank-owned reverse mortgage. I was living in Phoenix. This was in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. That's an hour east of Raleigh. Unfortunately, the woman had passed away, and the family could not pay the reverse mortgage on it. I paid $20,000 for it, and it was going to go to auction for $50,000. Woohoo! I'm going to make $30,000 on it. But July of 2020 is the middle of COVID. All the court systems were shut down. I had to wait for 13 months to figure this out. I knew with making $30,000, that spread, short-term capital gains would be $7,140 on, if I did this in July of 2020, it would be due April 15th, 2021. In my national real estate group, there is a gentleman named Garrett Gunderson, who is one of our speakers. He wrote a book called What the Rockefellers Do. He's changed the title to What Billionaires Do, but I have a copy saying What the Rockefellers Do. And I use that book to go through all sorts of things and start calling people, researching this online. I found the private law firm in Texas that has the patent on the Benson Financial Trust, and it only takes private clients. I became their private client, and I also became certified to start selling the trust. I want to teach as many people that I know how to save federal taxes. So this trust is going to be irrevocable, just like the Rockefellers. It goes from generation to generation to generation. The Rockefellers Trust is 7 generations old and has almost 400 people all under one EIN number. They all have their own separate bank accounts. They don't commingle them unless they want to. That's irrevocable. Complex. This trust can hold money day to day, month to month, year to year, decade to decade, so on and so on. When I dealt with my father's trust, all that money, when we dissolved it, all that money had to be separated between my 2 brothers and myself, and that trust is no more. Irrevocable, complex, discretionary. This means whoever is the trustee can make the rules for all the beneficiaries. I don't have any rules for my beneficiaries, but a couple of mine, the husband and wife who have 5 apartment buildings in Los Angeles, have a daughter who's involved with drugs and alcohol. She lives rent-free in one of the apartments. They're requiring her to do 4 random drug tests a month, and she must pass them, or else she's going to get kicked out of the free apartment. Well, she turned around and she sued her mom and dad, saying this was unfair. They had to go into federal court. The judge looked at the trust and he says, you've got a choice. Either pass the drug tests and stay living rent-free, or move out and start paying rent. And since this is a frivolous lawsuit, you're going to pay for your parents' legal costs. I do not want to be invited to their Thanksgiving dinner. That's between them. So that's irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor. This makes the trust 100% private. When you have an LLC, an S Corp, or a C Corp, that's statutory law. Each state has different rules, and it's never private. Even if you have an attorney set up your LLC, you can do a Freedom of Information Act to find out who owns the LLC, their phone number, and their address. With this trust, that can't be broken. So when it's non-grantor, when you start the trust, you are going to find someone who's not going to be a beneficiary, who is going to sign up for the trust, and then sign away from the trust. You will need their social security number. I used a family friend, Roy. He knew me before I was born. I took him to lunch. I started both the business trust and the beneficial trust at the same time, so he had to sign his name 17 times. Roy, very nice man. Only problem, he had arthritis of the hand, and for him to sign his name 17 times, it was a little bit of torture for him. If you're having trouble finding someone to do this, either I can do this for you or somebody else at the law firm can do this for you free of charge. It is not a speed bump. It is not difficult to do. And then the last element, irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor, irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor Spendthrift Trust. This is in the IRS Tax Code 643B, like Bravo. It has gone in front of the United States Supreme Court 2 separate occasions. Both times the Supreme Court has favored with the Spendthrift Trust, saying this is as legal can be. I know most people have never heard of this trust, so out on my website, thetrustisyou.com, I have an 18-minute education to talk about it, and then if you want to set an appointment, you always can. Now also, because I have CPAs who question this all the time, there is a book out there. It is a textbook. It's called Scott and Asher on Trusts, 5th edition. Asher is spelled A-S-C-H-E-R, on Trust with plural, 5th edition. Last Monday on Amazon, they were out of the book. It is an official book taught to accountants and everybody else. So I tell people to read this. I've had 3 different accountants who downloaded the book, came back to me and said, "Oh my gosh, I need you to help me with my clients so they can save federal taxes." Now, give you a bit of history about the trust. It comes from way back in England when King Henry VIII, he's famous for chopping off his wives' heads because he couldn't divorce his wives. He got in trouble with other European states, so he decided to set up the Church of England. And I have to apologize, I keep looking over because we're having a wild thunderstorm right now. So he started the Church of England, and he went to go tax the lords and ladies of England. The lords and ladies of England went even further back into history to the Magna Carta and said, no, King Henry, you can't do this. I'm not giving you dates. I am dyslexic. I get things transposed. So again, you can Google this. This is a true story. So this trust came over to the colonies when we were still a colony of the UK, as a contract. The law firm I work on behalf has inherited a trust that is going to turn 350 years old in 2023. Before we were a country. Now, most people do not understand that our IRS tax codes did not get passed until 1913, just before we were going into World War I. Not making fun of the rich families, but the Rockefellers and other people purposely set up the tax forms so that they can continue saving money. This is why you don't hear about this. The Rockefellers Trust is called the Office. Again, it's 7 generations old, and it has almost 400 people in their trust. With this going through the 643B, like Bravo, most CPAs, I'll never be one because I transpose numbers, most CPAs work in the 300, 400 level and do not look at, unless you're a trust CPA or a trust attorney, look at the 643B. But I have case law. If y'all want to have that, you can always reach out to me. I can send this to you. It's as legal can be. So I do split the trust into 2. There's the business trust for 1099 income earners. You might be a real estate agent. You might be an affiliate marketer. You might be a salesperson. I run 3 online stores through my business trust. With the business trust, I can legally say you will save at least 70% on your federal taxes year after year after year, generation after generation after generation. Personally, I have several clients, including myself, we're saving over 90% in our federal taxes because everything I own is in the 2 trusts. I can't say that legally. I'm just telling you what I did for my 2022 taxes. With this, you will change how you are paid. I get paid for selling my real estate education. They pay my trust. I get paid for selling Sally Soul Silver. It goes through my trust. I get paid for X's Elite. It goes through my trust. I make money, 1099 income, tax-free. Now, I know quite a few of you out there have LLCs or S Corps where you have business credit. This is going to be a personal decision on your part to decide if you're going to keep those open while you build business credit onto the trust. The only thing I don't like about you having an LLC or an S Corp still out there when you start up the trust is you are leaving yourself um, uh, uh, paying state taxes and also to being sued. I have to apologize. I don't pick to bring people live on these calls. I go live every Monday night, 8 p.m. East time, thetrustisyou.com/Q&A, Queen November Alpha. That's when I will talk live, because I've had a gentleman who I brought him on live and he was naked. Woo! It was an interesting time. So I don't bring people on live anymore. That's the reason for this. Now, where was I? I was forgetting. Oh, 1099 income earners. The 1099, you want to shut down your LLCs, S Corps, and C Corps as whenever it's convenient for you, but the sooner the better, because you don't want to pay state taxes and you don't want to be open to lawsuits. With the Spendthrift Trust, either the business trust or the beneficial trust, it's going to save you 3 ways. Number 1, federal taxes. Everybody wants to save federal taxes. Number 2, you're going to keep your information private. No one's going to know what you own, what houses you have, what crypto you have, what artwork you have, anything else. It's in the trust, completely private. And number 3, it's going to keep you from paying any judgments if you get sued. I can't stop you from being sued, but they can sue you as an individual, but you're worth nothing. The old adage from Nelson Rockefeller, own nothing, control everything. I have several different clients who have been personally sued that the lawsuit has gone away on. So the business trust is for 1099 income earners. The beneficial trust is for investors. You might be a passive investor. You might be a real estate investor. You might be a crypto investor, crypto miner. You might be in the stock market. You might be doing options trading, forex trading, doing silver. I do silver coins. I do other things. All of this are mineral rights and royalties all go through the beneficial trust. Now, to give you an idea, I was telling you about my little house in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. 4-bedroom, 1-bath house. I bought for $20,000, was going to go to auction for $50,000. Woohoo! I'm going to make $30,000. It didn't go to auction until August 28th, 2021, and it started at $50,000 and it went up to over $64,000. Yay, Sally! I made more than $44,000 on that deal. Even more importantly, I saved $10,550 on that first real estate deal. I have done many more real estate deals since then. I have 12 notes. I'll talk about my notes in a second. So with auction houses, if you're fix and flipping, if you're doing wholesaling, you're going to pay short-term capital gains. That's a year or less, and that's 23.8%. There is past legislation. It's not gone into law yet, but back in November of 2021, there's 2 lines in there saying people who are making more than $300,000 a year, their short-term capital gains is going to go up to 40%. Yikes. That's a lot of money. So if you're in this trust and you make more than $300,000, that won't affect you. But again, auction houses, wholesaling houses, doing fix and flips, anything like that, short-term, 23.8%. Long-term, a year or more, it's either going to be 15% or 20%. I work with business brokers because so many people do not know this fact. When you sell any kind of business, maybe it's a car wash, maybe it's an Amazon store. I had a gentleman who sold a stationery store in what did we just finish? June. A stationery store. Another gentleman who sold 3 fast food restaurants. With the Spendthrift, with what happens in the United States, you're going to take what you originally bought it for, and then what you're going to sell it for, and what's in between is what you're going to pay either 15% or 20% on capital gains on that sale. Business brokers I work with because they refer people to me. When the person can start the trust, fill out the application, get the EIN number, set up a bank account, change the paperwork, the business broker will change the paperwork, and then when they get paid, the money goes into the bank account. Then they can pay for the trust, and then I get paid, and I send the business broker $600 for each paid referral. One of my, the gentleman who, the business broker who had the gentleman selling the 3 fast food restaurants, he got paid for the person selling the fast food restaurants, and then the person who was buying the fast food restaurants is going to be paid in 1099 income. He referred both clients to me, so he got a check for $1,200 for the month of June. I didn't pay him until July 5th, but he got his money. Congratulations to him. Now, you're also going to save interest income. So interest income, I was telling you about my 12 notes, that I am the mortgage on the houses. They pay me interest income. That goes through the Spendthrift Trust, and it's going to be between 10% to 37%, whatever your personal tax bracket is. When I started the trust, my tax bracket was 24%. So that's what I'm going to keep saving on my 12 notes that I have. If you do the BRRRR strategy, BRRRR, buy, rehab, refinance, redo. I'm forgetting one of my R's. You're going to save interest income. One of my clients who has 85 houses went to his CPA 3 years in a row saying, I'm paying too much in interest income. CPA said to him 3 years in a row, you're buying too many houses. Well, his friend referred him to me. We saved him in 2022 $136,000 in interest income doing the BRRRR strategy. Forex investors. I don't know if you realize this, but you're getting taxed twice. You get taxed interest income and you're getting taxed capital gains. So I have Forex investors who are also clients. Dividend income. If you're in the stock market or have dividend incomes, or if you're doing a day trader, options trading, if you're doing futures trading or binary trading, dividend income is taxed between 10% to 37%, 7 different layers, and you're going to save money that way. A friend I know inherited his dad's neat portfolio, 100 shares of the top 100 dividend paying companies. Every quarter, he makes about $60,000 a quarter. His father died in early 2021. He didn't know about the tax bill. When he got his tax bill, he was in shock. So back in 2022, second quarter, he filled out the paperwork. We had to get his financial advisor on the phone because she had to change each certificate to the trust name. Then he was able to, third quarter, pay for the trust and save all the dividend income on there. Options traders. I don't know if you know this, option traders. You're getting taxed 40% for a year or less, or 60% for a year or more. Anything you make, profits from your options trading will go through the trust and you won't have to pay that anymore. That could be lots and lots of money for quite a few people. I have, but the person who does my options trading, he's got the trust too. Now, you also will save with, if you're going to be rentals, you can save it that way too. And then also with, if you're going to be doing that. So you're going to save so much money. Also, if you're going to do a bunch of things, you're going to save so much money doing that. So if you have mineral rights, if you have NFTs, if you have NFT crypto artist, or if you're doing any real estate crypto, you're going to save all that. One of my clients inherited his granddad's horse farm in Oklahoma. Loves horses. He's retired there. Loves horses. And on his horse farm, he's got 6 oil wells. The oil wells go through the Spendthrift Trust. I'm missing one. Rental income. Oh yes, rental income. Rental income, short-term or long-term rental income. Yes, you can take depreciation. Many people do this. You'll continue to do that with the Spendthrift Trust, but you're going to save it's between 10% to 37% for taxes. And then also, in case you have renters and they have a dog and it bites the mailman, you won't have to pay any judgments if you get sued. This trust is going to save you over and over and over again, and go from one generation to the next generation and next generation. I want to help as many people save as much money as possible. Again, my name is Sally Gimmon. The website is thetrustisyou.com. I have an 18-minute education there that you can download where I go over my slide deck. If you want to set up an appointment after that, easy to do. I'm on Zoom. And then on Monday nights, 8 p.m. East Coast time, I do a live Q&A, question and answer. So the Trust Is You /Q&A that you can come on. I'll go over the slide deck, open it up for questions. I want to help as many people as possible save as much money as possible. My podcast, Stop Paying Capital Gains Now, is out on any place you want to listen to podcasts. So please listen to it and like it. I want to say thank you for listening to this. I'm sorry for the lights dimming. We are having a crazy, crazy thunder and lightning storm. I don't know if you can hear it. So again, reach out to me if I can help you. thetrustisyou.com. /scheduling because I want to help you save as much in taxes as you can. Take care. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye-bye.